Today our topic is the Stoics' Guide to Managing Expectation. Life is full of surprises, and often things don't go the way we want them to. This can lead to disappointment, frustration, and even sadness. But what if there was a way to handle these situations better? What if we could learn to manage our expectations so that we are not easily shaken by what happens around us? This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is about finding peace and strength within ourselves, no matter what happens outside. Managing expectations is a big part of this. Let's talk about how we can use Stoic principles to handle our expectations in a way that makes life easier and more fulfilling. First, let's understand what expectations are. Expectations are the beliefs we have about how things should be or how people should act. We expect certain outcomes in life, like success in our careers, happiness in our relationships, or even just a good day. But the problem is, life is unpredictable. People don't always act the way we want them to, and situations don't always turn out the way we hope. When our expectations are not met, we feel let down. This can lead to negative emotions like anger, sadness, or frustration. The Stoics believed that these negative emotions come from our own minds, not from the outside world. They taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. This is the key to managing expectations. So, how can we manage our expectations in a Stoic way? The first step is to understand what is within our control and what is not. The Stoics divided the world into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. Things we can control include our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. Things we cannot control include other people's actions, the weather, or the outcome of a situation. When we focus on what we can control, we feel more empowered. When we focus on what we cannot control, we feel helpless and frustrated. The Stoics believe that we should only worry about the things we can control and let go of the rest. This is not easy to do, but it is a skill we can practice and improve over time. Let's take an example. Imagine you are working on a project at work, and you expect it to go perfectly. You have put in a lot of effort, and you believe that your hard work will lead to success. But then, something goes wrong. Maybe a team member makes a mistake, or the client changes their mind at the last minute. Suddenly, your expectations are not met, and you feel disappointed. What would a Stoic do in this situation? A Stoic would first recognize that they cannot control the actions of others, or the final outcome of the project. They can only control their own effort and attitude. So, instead of feeling frustrated, they would focus on doing their best and accepting whatever happens. This does not mean they don't care about the outcome. It means they understand that the outcome is not entirely in their hands. By managing their expectations in this way, they avoid unnecessary stress and disappointment. Another important Stoic principle is to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. This is called the practice of Premeditatio Malorum, or the premeditation of evils. The idea is to imagine the worst-case scenario and think about how you would handle it. This might sound negative, but it is actually a very practical way to manage expectations. When you prepare for the worst, you are not caught off guard if something bad happens. You are mentally ready to face any challenge. At the same time, you can still hope for the best and work towards a positive outcome. This balance between hope and preparedness helps you stay calm and focused, no matter what happens. For example, let's say you are going on a trip. You expect everything to go smoothly. Flight will be on time, the weather will be perfect, and you will have a great time. But what if something goes wrong? What if your flight is delayed, or it rains the whole time? If you have not prepared for these possibilities, you might feel upset and frustrated. But if you have thought about these scenarios in advance, you will be ready to handle them. You might pack an umbrella, Bring a book to read in case of delays, or have a backup plan in case the weather is bad. By preparing for the worst, you reduce the chances of being disappointed. This is not about being pessimistic. It's about being realistic and resilient. The Stoics also believed in the importance of gratitude. When we have high expectations, we often focus on what we don't have or what is not going right. This can make us feel unhappy and unsatisfied. But when we practice gratitude, we shift our focus to what we do have and what is going well. This helps us appreciate the present moment and find joy in the small things. Gratitude does not mean we stop striving for more or stop wanting to improve our lives. It means we recognize the good things we already have and are thankful for them. This attitude of gratitude helps us manage our expectations by keeping us grounded and content. Let's say you are expecting a promotion at work, but it doesn't happen. You might feel disappointed and start thinking about all the things that are wrong with your job. But if you practice gratitude, you can shift your focus to the positive aspects of your work, like the skills you are learning, the relationships you have built, or the salary that supports your life. This does not mean you give up on your goal of getting a promotion. It means you don't let the lack of a promotion ruin your happiness. You can still work towards your goal while being thankful for what you already have. This balanced approach helps you stay motivated and positive, even when things don't go as planned. Another Stoic practice that helps in managing expectations is to remind ourselves of the impermanence of life. The Stoics believe that everything in life is temporary possessions, our relationships, our successes, and even our problems. When we remember that nothing lasts forever, we are less attached to specific outcomes. We understand that both good and bad times will pass, and this helps us stay calm and balanced. For example, if you are going through a difficult time, you can remind yourself that this is just a phase and it will not last forever. Similarly, if you are enjoying a period of success, you can appreciate it without becoming too attached to it. This mindset helps us manage our expectations by keeping things in perspective. Finally, the Stoics believed in the power of self-discipline. Managing expectations requires us to control our desires and impulses. We often expect too much because we want too much. We want more money, more success, more recognition, and more comfort. But the Stoics believe that true happiness comes from within, not from external things. They taught us to focus on our own character and virtues, rather than on material possessions or social status. By practicing self-discipline, we can reduce our desires and focus on what truly matters. This helps us set realistic expectations and avoid unnecessary disappointment. In conclusion, managing expectations is a key part of living a Stoic life. It is about understanding what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is about preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. It is about practicing gratitude, remembering the impermanence of life, and developing self-discipline. By following these principles, we can handle life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. We can avoid unnecessary stress and disappointment, and find peace and happiness within ourselves. Life will always be unpredictable, but with the Stoic approach, we can navigate it with wisdom and strength. So, the next time you feel disappointed because something didn't go as expected, remember the Stoic teachings. Focus on what you can control, prepare for challenges, practice gratitude, and stay disciplined. This is the Stoic's guide to managing expectations, and it can help you live a more fulfilling and peaceful life.